Um, Welcome to the Spiritual Gangsta Book Club. We are reading You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. We're on chapter 2. Why you ain't rolling in the Chedda yet. This is page 27. All right. So when I was a kid, every so often my parents would get my brothers and sisters and me all dressed up, file us onto a plane, and off we go to visit my dad and the family in the town of Naples, Italy. I have such a vivid and random memories of those trips. My first ever glass of blood red orange juice, unthinkably purpley and delicious, that I sipped on the balcony of our hotel room with my bare feet up on the railing. My grandfather's giant green parrot, who screamed at us in Italian, a bird. My Aunt Lucia, greeting us with her arms lifted high over her head in pre-hug enthusiasm, and shockingly mound of armpit hair thus revealed, the likes of which I'd never seen on a lady, and which was so terrifyingly obscene to my American sensibilities that it was as if she'd greeted us by spreading her legs in my face. Well, during one of those trips, when I was around 7 years old, my uncle Renato took the whole gang out to his favorite seafood restaurant, someplace overlooking the water with a big patio full of picnic tables. The horde of Sincero cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, in-laws, and grandparents vied for prime placement around two long tables, and by some stroke of luck, amidst the chaos, I managed to score the most convenient seat of seats, right next to my dad. My father was the focal point of everything on these trips. Not only because he was like a celebrity, the dashing eldest son returned home with his beautiful American wife, proud broad, and successful doctor's practice, but mostly because he was the only one who spoke both Italian and English, which meant that every time anyone said anything, 4 long rows of picnic benches and 20 sets of eyes were transfixed on him, blinking in eager hopes of him translating some witticism or anecdote that would allow us to turn to one another and laugh, nod, and feel that sense of tribe that families who actually understood what the hell one another was saying feel. Right after we were seated, the owner or chief or someone important came up to our table and made a big show of greeting Uncle Renato, who was clearly a celebrity in his own right, and there was much handshaking and cheek pinching and benevitoing before the man clapped his hands together, announced, "Welcome, my friends. I hope you are hungry," and disappeared inside the restaurant. Moments later, a steady stream of food would continue nonstop for the next 4 hours, begun appearing in front of us. At some point, the waitress brought over a plate that was piled high with deep-fried circular somethings, and my dad pulled me onto his lap and told me to try one. "What is it?" I asked. "Just try it." "Yeah, but what is it?" Instead of telling me, he turned to the rest of the table, pointed at the plate, and rattled off something in Italian. The only parts of which I understood were words Jennifer, Magnia, and the laughter that ensued. Now there were 4 rows of picnic benches and 20 sets of eyes staring at me, and this stupid plate of fried circles that I suddenly was terrified of. My father, in his celebrity status, is a pretty shy guy, and truth or dare isn't really his scene. All of which made me think of that whatever was on that plate must be really bad if he was willing to put on a big to-do about it. My mind immediately went to worms. It couldn't possibly be anything else. You hear all the time about these foreign countries where they eat things like tarantulas and eyes and brains, so of course, some people must eat worms. I imagined how one could easily make a circle out of a worm, dip it in batter, and deep fry it. I mean, what other creature could do that? could you do that with? Only worms. As deeply disturbing as this thought was, I hated being teased, and I hated losing at Truth or Dare even more. So, in front of the entire Sincero Nation, I popped a mystery circle into my mouth and chewed, gagging and wincing while waiting for the worm to explode. But much to my surprise, there were no guts. Instead, it was more like eating a rubber band, chewy and tasteless. And father then yelled in my face, "It's squid!" And everyone erupted in laughter and applause. And my Aunt Alberta patted me on the head, and I retreated into a deep, seething blackness of hatred and humiliation that had me up and bolting for the bathroom in a fit of tears. I was a kid who liked fish. Had I known the truth, what I was putting in my mouth, I could have avoided gagging, drama, scolding I got later, even for kicking my brother hard in the when he irritated me or imitated me trying to choke down the worm, which brings me to the point of this. Our realities are make-believe, whatever we make ourselves believe we experience. When it comes to forming and transforming our human experience, the power of the mind reigns supreme over any of external truths. If you believe money is evil and or difficult to make, your bank account will have tumbleweeds blowing through. Strong religious beliefs inspire everything from wars to glorious houses of worship to cutthroat cherry pie baking contests. The belief that you are hot and sexy will have you getting hit on by strangers on the street. And if you believe you're eating worms, then you will gag. There's a neuroscientist named Valimar Rampachandran. I totally butchered that because I have no idea. Ramachandran. Okay? You should look it up. It's on page 30. So there's a neuroscientist named Villamar who uses the power of belief to help amputees in excruciating pain find relief. Many people who have lost limb experience what's called phantom pain, very real pain sensations in part of their body that no longer exists. Because the limb is no longer there, there's no way for them to massage it or soak it or do anything to relieve the pain. Hello? How freaking torturous is that? Through the use of mirrors, the this guy reflects the image of the patient's existing limb to where the missing limb used to be. So it appears that the missing limb is no longer missing. Then, if they're missing an arm, for example, they move their existing arm, unclench their hand, relieve the tension however they can, and the mind is tricked into believing that this is happening to the missing arm, and the pain disappears. By making the mind believe that the non existent exists, he is able to help his parents change their physical reality. Your external world is a mirror of your internal world. If you can make yourself believe the thoughts that are screwing up your financial life, i.e., I cannot make money because of X, I'm a single mom, I live in the middle of nowhere, I'm an idiot, etc., you can make yourself unbelieve them too. This is how powerful we are and how deceptively simple changing our lives is. We can literally create the reality we desire by making ourselves think and believe that we desire to think and believe. How awesome is that? Our beliefs, along with what our thoughts and words are at the root of everything we sorry. Our beliefs, along with our thoughts and words, are at the root of everything we experience in life, which is why consciously choosing what rolls around in your mind and falls out of your mouth is one of the most important things you can do. This conscious choosing of your thoughts, beliefs, and words is called mastering your mindset. And master it you must if you like to live large and in charge instead of being bossed around by your circumstances. Here's the lowdown on how your mindset works. Beliefs. When it comes to money, most people feel like their beliefs are in pretty good shape. Hell yes, I will gladly let you give me money all day long. Thank you very much. Here, I just so happen to have a bag for you to put it in. But what they don't realize is that their conscious mind talking, and that deep down we all have our subconscious mind, which is the motherboard that controls all the results. And if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. So no matter how much you may think you're all about the money, in your conscious mind, your subconscious believes that you will get cut off from it, from all family gatherings if you get rich, because as a kid that's what you saw your jealous grandfather do to your dad when he got rich. You ain't gonna be rolling in it anytime soon. The Little Prince. The subconscious mind is like a 7-year-old prince who suddenly becomes king when his fathers die. When his father dies. Sorry. He's running the kingdom of your adult life based on information that he gathered and processed while doing somersaults and pulling down his pants in the front yard. Meaning, he didn't really process any of it. When you're born, you don't have any attitudes or beliefs about money. You arrive blank, open, game for anything. You base your truth about money on what you learn from the people around you and the experiences you have. All this information flows into your subconscious mind before your brain has matured and developed any sort of filter or analytical ability to be like, hold on a minute, just because mom and dad fight about money all the time doesn't mean money is bad. It could mean he's jealous that she makes more than he does, or that she wants him to pay more attention to her, so she picks fights with him. When you're a kid, all this information comes in through a much simpler kid-sized perspective, meaning you take what's right in front of you at face value. So, with this example, where you grew up seeing your parents fight about money, you might believe money equals fighting, equals scary, equals bad. Or, if I make money, I will be yelled at and unlovable. Or, money scares the hell out of me because it looks like somebody's about to get hit every time the topic comes up. And this information, in this very basic emotional form, gets lodged into your subconscious mind like a meat cleaver as the truth. And there it remains for the rest of your life, unless you reprogram it, which I will show you how to do later. Serving you well if it's positive and helpful, and frustrating the crap out of you if it holds you back from creating the life you desire. I'm going to take a water break real quick. Oh man, I thought it was on. I thought I was talking. I was talking, I thought it was unmuted. So let me start again. Today has been a day, if you have not noticed. Like, I'm just saying. Okay, page 34. Here are the 3 basic attributes of the subconscious. It's primal. The subconscious mind's number one concern is survival. As a little baby who can't take care of or fend for itself, losing love and being abandoned literally equals death. So anytime we come near to putting ourselves at risk, the little prince goes crazy and tries to stop us. This is one of the main reasons we stay stuck in lives we're not nuts about. We don't want to risk trying and failing, trying and succeeding, losing weight, getting rich, having a new opinion, a new love life, a new strut in our step for fear the people we love will reject us when we change. While this may work for a little kid who's doing the best he can to survive, it sucks for an adult. It's sneaky. Most people have no idea that they've got all these underlying beliefs holding them back. They're only aware, somewhat, of their conscious thoughts, so they work on those and leave the real culprit beneath undisturbed. This is how we get trapped in our patterns. Dating the same weirdos over and over, repeatedly working for the people who treat us like poo, and spending all our money the second we make it. The little prince and your unquestioned conscious beliefs are ruling the roost. It doesn't want to be dethroned. And your little prince will pitch a full-on temper tantrum if it looks like things are headed that way. Let's say you make the bold decision to quit your job as a kindergarten teacher and open the daycare business of your dreams. You put it very clear and no-nonsense financial goals firmly in place. Set about securing a loan to rent the space, come up with a name like perhaps Who Cares Daycare, and neatly get all your ducks in a row. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, if you believe that struggling is more noble than succeeding, because that's what your parents taught you, and everyone who loves you as you used to be will judge you and abandon you when you're rich, your subconscious self might attempt to protect you by suddenly getting the flu, picking fights with people who can help you, inspiring you to procrastinate, make terrible investments, drink your face off the night before or morning of an important meeting. When you change who you're being, you're basically killing off your old identity, which completely freaks out your subconscious. Change hurls you into the unknown and puts you at risk for all sorts of loss and, of course, all sorts of unthinkable awesomeness, which is why it brings your biggest fears to the surface. Your little prince is desperately trying to keep you in a safe, known space, otherwise known as your comfort zone. But if the truths you're running your life on no longer fit who you're becoming, it's like trying to squeeze into the snow pants you wore as a kid when you were 36 years old. Not so comfy after all. Yet, we do it all the time because even though they cut off our circulation and hold us back from who we so desperately want to become, the puffy pants are familiar, cozy, and feel safer than trying on an outfit that we've never worn before. We are so attached to the unhelpful familiar, in fact, that we will spend our valuable, very finite time here on earth crafting excuses to keep ourselves right where we are instead of leaping into glorious unknown and growing into who we're really meant to be. The walls of your comfort zone are lovingly decorated with your lifelong collection of favorite excuses. Love your little prince for being a great pal by trying to protect you, but it's time to step into your power. Put on your grown-up crown and take your kingdom back. Along with our overbearing little prince, the quest for earthly security holds people back from living the lives of their dreams more than almost anything else. And the ridiculous part is that it doesn't even exist. People will spend lifetimes slogging it out in secure jobs they hate, staying in relationships with people they don't like rather than risk being alone, and never spending money on anything fun in order to save it for a rainy day. Meanwhile, we are flying through outer space in an infinite universe on a planet prone to earthquakes and plagues and ice age. That secure job, at that secure company, could dry up. Some lunatic could run up and start beating you to death with a tree branch. Anything can happen. Well, let's not manifest that. Now, of course, focusing on this would not be helpful in living a productive, happy life because we'd be crouched under tables and clinging to buildings while trying to walk down the street. But I'm reminding you of it in hopes of liberating you from the pointless, oftentimes life-sucking trap of sacrifice living in your dreams for false security. To free your heart up, to follow your joy, and ride the way of awesomeness instead of limiting yourself and playing it safe. Trying to protect yourself from fears protects you from experiencing a fully evolved and juicy life. I'm not talking about putting yourself in harm's way, poo-pooing safety precautions, or acting like an irresponsible maniac. Screw it. We're all going down anyways. Let's cash in the kids' college funds, buy a bunch of blow, and drive to Mexico. I'm talking about freeing yourself up to thrive in abundance. Instead of living life clinging to your fears, I'm talking about focusing on your heart's desires, on infinite possibility, on enjoying the crap out of your life instead of worrying about what you might lose. Be responsible, put money aside for the future, wear your seatbelt, make big fun plans with your friends and family. Don't walk through the shady neighborhoods alone. Invest your money wisely, exercise your body and mind, practice safe sex, don't smoke cigarettes, and don't get drunk in public and badmouth your neighbors. Act as if you've got a long, happy life on earth ahead of you. But do not shrink back from something you desire because it's too risky. Just being alive is risky. Allow yourself to experience what your heart desires as if this is your one and only chance to take the ride of your life. Words. Our perception of reality is also greatly influenced by our words. Words bring our thoughts and beliefs to life and help anchor them into our realities through repetition. Words help us form our identities. We get attached to our lingo, our shtick. I don't know what that means, but my memory is crap. I left the keys in my front door again. What a tube. The more you tell yourself you're a forgetful tube, the more you will believe it, and hence, more you'll act like a forgetful tube. You tell a kid that she's stupid enough times and she'll believe it, even if she just taught herself to read Chinese. I told myself pretty much every day for 40 years that I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and as a result, remained in the fetal position of hopelessness and confusion for decades. Had I replaced the phrase "I don't know" with "clues are all around me," I would have opened myself up to receive tidbits of clarity instead of slamming the door on Lord only knows how many golden opportunities. What comes out of your mouth comes into your life. Because we are creatures of habit who tend to have our words on repeat, they become like a chisel that forms grooves in our mind, playing the same stories over and over, anchoring in our minds and beliefs and defining our reality. Our words are like water flowing over rocks. Over time, they have the power to create grooves the size of the Grand Canyon. This is what I love about the phrase stuck in a rut. You're literally stuck in a rut or a groove of thought, beliefs, and words, and in order to free yourself, you need to consciously create a new groove and create a place to start. And a great place to start is by getting yourself some new, better words. Language defines and shapes our perception of reality by giving it an understandable structure. We create and reinforce boundaries around time. For example, talking about what we did yesterday, how tomorrow can't come fast enough, and how someday I'm going to start eating healthy, but right now I'm going to explore that cheeseburger. Meanwhile, according to Einstein, time is an illusion. It's flexible, nonlinear, and whole 24 hours in a day thing is a giant hoax. We've all heard this before, yet we are a staunch 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year kind of culture. And this is made real by our language. The Hopi people, who perceive the world in more tune with Einstein's findings, have no words in their language to express the past or future because they basically exist in the now. In fact, they don't even have a word for now because to step back and call it something would take them out of the moment. There are countless realms of reality, and the words we use wrap us up nice and tightly into whatever perception we're participating in. Words also have an incredibly persuasive effect on us. Think about how incredible it is when someone speaks directly to what you're feeling or thinking or fearing. The right words spoken at the right time can make you feel recognized on a deep soul level and can be so powerful as to inspire nations of smart people to vote idiots into office, a whole community to drink lethal Kool-Aid. So start paying attention and notice if you're repeatedly announcing how much you hate, fear, mistrust money via language such as, I'm an idiot when it comes to money. I could never afford that. I hate that rich bastard. If you're bad mouthing money, you're going to want to go ahead and knock that off. So we're going to take a pause here and we can discuss if you like. I really, thanks for being patient with me. I love this. This is so true with what she's talking about, where our beliefs really shape. And I like how she says the ego here is the little prince, and that it's always, this is something I talk about a lot with my clients, that the ego is always trying to keep us safe, and people are like, I'm fighting my ego, and I'm just like, be friends with it, but be the adult. This is such a good way to really talk about it. And where she's talking about here the words, and that we're creating forms, this is what I'm talking about, neural pathways. And this is why when I'm telling people in my mentorship, that you're saying affirmations and you're doing meditation, you're creating a new neuro pathway. It's the whole reason we choose those words and shift those around, and become conscious of them, because most people aren't even conscious of the things that are running in their subconscious.
You're so right.
Right?
You're so right. Like lately, I'm just trying to be more conscious of like what it is, what story it is that I'm telling myself. Like I haven't been good. I haven't been doing like my reflection exercises, but just from the one time that I did it, like just reflecting back and like saying the opposite of what it really is that I'm thinking, or that what I think my ego is telling me.
Yeah, it's so and let me be honest with even myself, is that you know um the past couple of years have been a little stressful, whatever. I have some things going on. I've gained weight, and I am not
Same.
loving my body. I'm like telling myself, oh my god, I'm fat, like, and these are not good, so i
Right.
i too have been back in the mirror looking at myself and said, no bitch, you love yourself. You're
Exactly.
fucking amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Is it so important?
It
And
is.
that's, and for years and years and years, those things ran so much. um I'm doing these exercises that she says here around money, and i I always like to say, like, I don't feel like I have money blockages.
Right.
um I know, like, I've been so many times like, okay, source, I'm ready for you to bless me today. And I literally will have like people call and book my schedule up. Like,
Right.
it'll be Sunday night
Right.
and I'm freaking out and I'm like, oh my god, nobody's here. And I'm like, wait, hold up, source, I'm grateful for you to bless me, and
Right.
my books will fill up.
Right.
But when I'm getting to it where I'm like, I don't want to be where I'm at, I want to be more. And
Right.
there definitely has been those thoughts with, like, your friends or your family is going to judge you, or like it's been even like where I say, oh, I'm going to get this, and like I had somebody close to me say, you can't do that. And I'm like,
Wow.
what the fuck? Like, and usually
Uh,
that motivates me to do something, and because you tell me I can't do something, and I'm
right.
I'm gonna do it,
Same.
but I noticed that I didn't, and I dragged my feet on it because it played into another role, because it's stepping up a level to where I was from where I
Right.
am. It's stepping up another level, meaning
Right.
like, and then I'm like, oh, you're gonna have more responsibility, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to,
Right.
are you gonna be able to? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, like, literally have to tell my brain, just shut up, little
Mm.
prince. I don't want to call it little prince. I'm gonna call it little princess or something. Okay,
the,
and I don't,
the diva.
yeah, I don't have a man in my head. Okay, but
Uh-uh.
it's so true,
It is.
and even if it's not that first layer of your subconscious is deeper.
Right.
I tell people when they're like, "Oh no, I don't have any issue," and then I'm like, "Okay, so look around your surroundings. Are you happy?" And they're like, yeah. Go deeper. Let's go deeper."
It's just funny because honestly, like until someone asks the right questions to like get you thinking, like sometimes you don't think about it, you know?
Right.
Like you really like cannot like straight up like for me for a while I couldn't straight up say like, oh, I have a blockage because of XYZ. Like
Right.
I don't know.
100%. I
But
agree.
what I've been doing a lot too is like changing, my story about myself, like how she says, like, oh, you're always forgetful, and then what happens? You continue to be forgetful, So I'm just like being more gentle with myself when it comes to those things.
Yeah, and the thing is though, the more you're like, somebody who's organized, even you, for like where you have that and you're saying, "Man, I have a great memory. I remember everything." You
Right,
really will, because you're
right,
telling yourself, and you're
right,
activating that, like, yeah, because it's like, it's almost like it's an excuse, right?
right,
So you don't have to remember everything. I'm
right.
doing that with people's names, because I used to say, "Oh my god, I'm horrible with names. Take your shirt off and lay down. I'll remember you because the massage. Let me look at your back."
Right.
Um, and it's
I get
there. But yeah, you probably look at people's nails and you're like, "Oh, your hands. I know who you are. Come here."
it. I'm so blessed. Like I have like the same people all the time, so I don't have to go through that so much, which is cool. But yeah, me like even like let's say like at the salon, the other clients that are there, like they all know me, and those, yeah, I completely forget their names. I know them by hair,
Oh, there you go.
but yes, I got it. I got it.
I mean, hair and nails is a little easier than be like,
It
"Can you lift
is.
your
It is.
shirt up?"
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
By the
Totally.
way, turn around.
Totally. Totally.
But definitely, like, I started telling myself too, like, I'm just I need to make an affirmation, because really at this point I'm just like, remember their names. Remember their names. So definitely an affirmation.
For real. By the way, yeah, those affirmations that you like that you recorded for me have been amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you love it.
Like yes, like it's I have no excuse. Like it's on my phone and I have my phone every night and every morning. So
And the sound bowls that are playing are personal for you.
right,
Like,
exactly.
I put them together for I was like, oh, like, I just
I
immediately
love
knew that you
that. I
needed it.
love that.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Yeah, like in the morning, like I'm not gonna lie, I was very reactive. Like I would pick up my phone and I think that's kind of what was setting my mood for the day.
Mm,
um Even though I knew that I was still doing it every day, but like honestly, like now in the morning, like I listen to my affirmations the first thing I do, so I don't touch my phone until after I sit down and give myself time, and I feel like it's been making a huge difference.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. That's so great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to move to page 40, thoughts. Your thoughts inspire emotions that inspire action that forms your reality. When I was a little when I was little, we lived next door to a family with a bunch of kids close to my age. Their parents were German, and while I was playing at their house one day a couple weeks before Christmas, they let me in on some very valuable information. Apparently, not only were there presents to be had under the tree on the 25th of December, But there was another holiday they celebrated in Germany at the beginning of the month called St. Nicholas's Day. And if you left your shoe outside overnight, it would be full of presents the next morning. Hello. I immediately went home and I picked out the biggest shoe I had, a clog. I waited 9 million years for the rest of the day go by and for dinner to finally be over so I could sneak outside and leave my clog right next to the front door as instructed. As I lay in bed that night, listening to my parents clean the kitchen, my heart suddenly leapt out of my chest as the sound of the front door opening and the dog being called. In a matter of moments, my name was being called too. Jennifer, get your butt down here. My mom was standing at the bottom of the steps, waving my clog over her head, demanding to know how it ended up outside. I mumbled something about taking it off, forgetting to bring it in, and I apologized and slink back upstairs with my freezing cold shoe. Great. Now I have to sneak out again after they go to bed and risk getting it twice as much trouble. Yet, as serious as an offense it was a brand new clog, and on top of everything else, and as grave the repercussions would no doubt be, it was totally worth it. Because presents. The story ends with me getting no presents, obviously, getting busted again for the stupid dog who needed to be let out early to pee, and being put on a full month of hamster cage cleaning duty, as well as dishwasher emptying duty, made all the worse by glee it brought to my newly chore-free siblings. We are creatures who are driven by emotion. When we're all fired up, we ain't listening to nothing else, not wisdom, not logic, or fear, or doubt. Our emotions compel us to participate in staggering displays of both the magnificent and the moronic. We flip over parked cars in the street when our team wins the World Cup, date people covered in red flags, spend hundreds of dollars on a beautiful pair of shoes that do not fit. I am not guilty of that at all. Risk a second round of scolding from our parents for leaving our clogs outside. We will also accept an exciting new job that we are unqualified for, overcome our fear of flying to visit a friend in need, step onto a stage in front of hundreds, even if we're terrified, go into the red to launch the business of our dreams. You cannot have emotion without having a thought first. We won. I love my friend. I want to be my own boss. When you learn to master your mindset and focus on thoughts that elicit strong, positive emotion, you wield your power to take crazy leaps of faith in spite of your fears and your little prince trying to hold you back. It all starts with your thoughts. They are the catalyst that brings on the shift that changes what you believe and how you act. To get a better idea of what I'm talking about, here's a breakdown of how your mindset works. Your beliefs are driving the bus. They take you where you're going, whether you're paying attention or not. Your thoughts are the tour guide, the person up in front with your microphone and the clipboard. She can leave over and yank the wheel, slam the brakes, step on the gas, flip the bus. She can do whatever, whenever she wants. She usually works in harmony with your beliefs, but she has all the veto power. Your words are the assistant to your thoughts and beliefs. Your words back them up, voice their opinions, anchor their message in. Anchor in their message and keep it real. Your emotions are the fuel. They're ignited by your thoughts and can change your beliefs with the direction of your life. Without emotions, you're going nowhere new and exciting. Your actions build the road. They pave the path for your beliefs, but will reroute should thoughts and emotions make a change of plans and decide they want to stop at Dairy Queen. When all these facets of your mind, body, and spirit are in alignment, focused on the same desire, singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall as they merely roll along, you can manifest all the riches you desire. But if you're thinking about how much you'd love to make an extra $5,000 a month and how you have no idea how to do it, if you're feeling terrified and extremely doubtful, believing that people won't take you seriously, yourself included, if you're saying out loud, I love money and it comes easily to me every morning in the mirror, and if you're making one sales call a day, which you gave up on, and cracked open a beer, you're not going to get very far. All members of Team Mindset must be on the field bringing their A game. Yet, it's your thoughts, and I hate to play favorites here, but it's your thoughts that are the biggest badasses of them all. In order to get your thoughts working at their max potential, let's take a look at some of the most common beliefs about money that we often unconsciously accept as the truth and blab away about all the long day. Live long day. Pay attention to which of these remind you of something and you may have heard yourself saying or thinking, because awareness is the first step in breaking the spell of your not so awesome financial reality. Here is the drill. Become aware of what your limiting thoughts and beliefs are. Question and investigate them. Rewrite them. Say it out loud and proud. I'm going to do this for the first few so you can see how it works. Unhelpful thought. Money can't buy happiness. Question. What makes me happy? Answer. Hanging out with the people I love, grilled cheese sandwiches, being loved and loving others, laughing my ass off, giving great gifts, traveling, hiking, playing with my dog, taking road trips, listening to music, drinking beer, having my own business, leaving huge tips, freedom, and getting massages. I concur. Question. Does having money help me achieve any of these things? Yes. Rewrite your thought. Money supports my happiness. Next, unhelpful thought. I'd rather focus on having fun than making money. Question. Is it fun when you make money? Answer. Yes. When I make it, it's fun, but when I have to do it, what I have to do to make it isn't fun. Okay. Question. Would it be worth your time during your one and only life to find or create an occupation that is fun? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you understand that anything you set your mind to is possible, even having a job that is lucrative and fun? Answer. Yes. Rewritten thought. I make making money fun. Even if you're not 100% on board with believing these new stories yet, do you feel how much more emotionally uplifting they are than their original sad sack versions? Do you understand how shifting the narrative with the same diligence a mechanic might replace a busted carburetor isn't a bunch of pain in the ass busy work, but something that can help you make real transformation in your life? Here are some other commonly held beliefs that are real winners and that may sound familiar to you. Pick whichever ones sound like something you'd think or say and reframe them. You cannot be rich and spiritual. Money isn't important, people are. Never go into debt. Save your money for a rainy day. Rich people are lucky, gross, selfish, entitled, snobby, shallow, egomaniacs, and holier than you. You have to work hard to make money. You can't make money doing X, add in whatever you love to do. I'm too irresponsible, lazy, clueless to make money. It's not polite to talk about money. It's important to have a good, secure job. If you get excited by making money, it means you're shallow. Money doesn't grow on trees. You must go to a good college to make money. Money causes stress. There's never enough money. Money is trouble. I don't want to be a sellout. You have to make a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice having a good, fun life to make money. Money's out of my reach. You have champagne taste on a beer pocketbook. Always have a backup plan. It's lonely at the top. Who has that kind of money? He, she is only about the money. Imagine walking around experiencing similarly icky thoughts and feelings about something just as omnipresent as money. For example, what if you thought these things about the sky? The sky is the root of all evil. It's not polite to talk about the sky. Loving the sky makes me a bad person. The sky other turns otherwise decent people into pigs. You'd barely be able to leave your house, let alone relish in the joys of life. When you consciously or unconsciously resent money or cling to your limiting beliefs about money or refuse to participate in making money, it doesn't serve you. It doesn't make you more noble, and it doesn't help you or anyone else. What it does is put you in a hunger strike by cutting you off from the which you need to survive and thrive. By embracing money and getting into the flow, you open yourself up to the abundance that's trying to reach you in this very moment. So then we have a success story. If she can do it, so can you. Here's a great story from Sandra, 44, who put more faith in what she desired to believe than what she was raised to believe. I used to live in my truck in the Midwest. I now live in my dream beach house in California, and I am a successful actress. My main limiting belief around money was that if I made lots of it, my life would get too complicated and I wouldn't know how to handle it. Math, taxes, investments. I was afraid of that money. Beyond necessity for the day, week, or month would be more than I could understand or control. I didn't feel smart enough or good enough. Blah, blah, yawn. Step 1. I got up and did the work. Thoughts and beliefs are key. I got clear about my fears around money and I hammered myself with the beliefs like I love and approve of myself. I am open to all the good and abundance of the universe. I know what I'm doing. I deserve success and respect and awards and money and the best the world has to offer. There is plenty of money and prophylactic prosperity for everyone, especially me. Step 2. I aligned with mentors and hired people who knew how to handle the stuff I didn't know about, was scared of, or disinterested in. I focused on being me, creating and delivering something of value to the world. I let other people handle the selling of it, the business of it, the legal of it, but I kept my eyes open so I didn't get screwed out of what was mine. Step 3. I fell down and I got back up more times than I ever imagined. I'm still falling down and learning how to get back up. Success is not an end of the road game. It's a never ending road game. I am practicing seeing and feeling the success fully, as if it's already done, won, and in the bank. Love yourself because you are the only one of you ever. Do something badass with the you have got. Even if people think you're crazy, whatever it is you decide to do it with joy, gumption, and dedication, so it will be your money maker and your merry maker. Now, here's your exercise for the evening. Actually, let's go into a discussion before we jump into that. I want to talk about what she's saying here. These things that she said. These are some of the things that people say that commonly held beliefs. There is a big thing where you can't be rich and spiritual. I love myself so much because I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm super, like, I just learned so much of my value um, and my time while being a massage therapist that when I fully stepped into my spiritual side and I really started promoting that and doing that for people, I was like, nah, bitch. Like, this is my time you're paying for. Thankfully, like, I learned that through the huge group of like badass women who I was suggested this book through of massage therapists. So I remember my shaman at one point because I was struggling with finances and she's like, "Do you feel like you can make money being spiritual?" And I was like, yeah." Yes. Yes. But there are some that she definitely brought up here. Like, it's not polite to talk about money. This was a huge thing in my family. Like, my grandmother owned properties and never talked to us or told us how to obtain property. Like, why? And it's because of that mindset, like that she grew up like you're not supposed to talk about money. And this one all the time. Money doesn't grow on trees. Man, my dumbass. Sorry, I said that myself. I found myself saying that to my kids, and I was like, hold up, money does grow on trees. I was listening to this group the other day on a Clubhouse, and it was women who were starting like a manifestation thing, and they were talking about different things about money and abundance. And this lady goes that she was told that too. Money doesn't grow on trees when she was grown up. And she said, but you know what? It really fucking does. Money's made of paper. Like, it really does. It's abundant for all of us. I've noticed myself in the beginning of my spiritual career, like where I'm helping other people. So I had a hard time teaching about my abilities and what I do. And I kept fighting myself. A, I didn't feel good enough. B, I was like, well, if I teach them my secrets, then what will I have left? And I'm like, bro, there's 7 million people in the world. There's 7 million people in the world. Like, I'm sure.
Literally, what you said is like the mindset of like every nail tech. Just letting you know.
Right?
Yes,
But it's
it's a
like,
thing.
and that's what I like. I learned from somewhere, right? Like, but the one thing is like they're never going to be you. And I'm not, like, I love what I do, like guiding people and teaching people with reading for people, but like this isn't where I want to sit at for the rest of my life. So like being able to teach other people my craft, like I see them flourish, and that makes me so happy. Like
I totally get what you're talking about because I feel the same way.
I
Yeah.
understand, like where you have that mindset where you're like, oh shit, I'm going to teach these people, and then who's going to come to me? The people who want to learn. Like I literally have to like
Right.
interrupt my thoughts, like what are you doing? The people who want to learn are going to come to you.
That's true.
the,
And then
you
the
know
thing is, like, one thing that like helped me talk myself out of it too was like I saw it was like this free like webinar type thing, and they were showing on like how to do courses, and like the first thing that they said was thing I forgot how they worded it. Oh, that basically like like you see how all these other people are giving classes and stuff, and like they don't even know as much as you do, but they have the confidence. They go out, they do the classes, people take them, they feel good about it. Like you basically just have to know more than the person that wants to learn. Like you don't
100%.
have to know it all.
100%. This I look listen, I'm not trying to put nobody down, but it's like TikTok. Okay.
Ugh,
TikTok and the
TikTok, there's
spiritual
savages in TikTok. I just
TikTok and
realized.
the spiritual community in TikTok, like half those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yes,
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm just like,
I know exactly
oh.
what you're talking about.
And I'm just like, yeah. But like you can't focus on that. You gotta stay in your lane. And like
Right, right.
I literally I today I did a an event this afternoon, this evening. That's why I was so like crazy.
Girl, I give you props. I was like, wait, she's at that event like
Listen,
all day. Like, how is she gonna do class tonight?
I was good, but I was trying to get food, and then the whole experience at the restaurant just like it
Oh
was,
no.
yeah. So I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But but I'm in this event, right? So it's a spiritual event. I'm literally all I did was bring I could have had a whole vendor table, and I could have had all my stuff, and I could have had my bowls, and I could do the healing, and but I just did readings.
Right.
And I'm looking around. I'm literally next to all these people who do exactly what I do or do the things I do. They do the things I do. They play sound bowls. Lady, she got all her sound bowls and everything, and she got her Reiki table and stuff. But I was like, and at first I was just sitting there, and I was like, man, and I was like, what you've done this before. Like, I'm in here with like 30 readers. Why are they going to pick me? Man, I was busy. The whole time I was busy.
Of
Because, oh,
course.
one person comes and they tell their friend, and my friends showed up, and this
There
person,
you go.
and
Yep.
you're busy. So it's like, There's
Right.
enough. And the lady next to me is so funny because, like, beforehand, she's talking to me, and we were talking about the sound bowls and stuff like that. And then later on, she came back and she was talking to me. She's like, "Oh, I love your phone stand that you have there. And I really want to. Do you have a YouTube channel?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then I was like giving her social media tips, because she's just getting into social media. And she's like, "Man, I really like you talking to me. Some people get really defensive and don't really want to share things because they think of lack mindset, but there's abundance for all of us." And I was like, "You're fucking right."
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, and that's it.
Yes.
You're like, she had the people that went to her and wanted to work with her, and I had the people that came to me and wanted to work with me. Like,
Exactly. We all have something different to bring to the table, like
yep,
I can do the exact same nails as another girl, but maybe she's not the vibe, like
yep.
everybody's different.
You have your
You
own.
gotta sit, you gotta sit and work with this person. So
Right. Yeah,
everybody's not for
exactly.
everybody.
Exactly. And we just have to learn to like collaborate and work with each other. That's what's wrong with the world.
Right.
We're all in competition.
Right.
So our exercise, thank you for hanging out with me a little past 9 here, but
Of course.
our exercise to get rich, page 49 for those listening in the playback. Suggested money mantra. Say it, write it, feel it, own it. Did you guys do this last week? I totally did the exercise. We didn't talk about it today.
I did not.
But I 100% encourage you because it allows you to uncover a lot more about your money blockages. I love money and money loves me. List 5 main things that you remember your parents telling you about money. Take any negative thoughts that come up for you in the first step above and break them down as I showed you how to, where you're asking questions and seeing where those thoughts came from. Rewrite your new truths about money. The number 4, take the new truth that has the most charge for you and write it down every morning and every night, feeling it in your bones. Repeat it in your head as often as possible and say it out loud. Keep hammering yourself with it until it sinks in. You're creating that new neural pathway. Notice how you've been clinging to the security in a way that's holding you back in any part of your life. This could be dating someone you know that isn't the right person, never letting yourself spend your money on something fun, doing anything that bores you to tears because you want to be liked, you feel you should, you'll be judged if you don't, being scared to tell your blabbermouth neighbor that stopping by unannounced is unacceptable, etc. Find something that's not serving you, that you've been scared of to let go of because of the security it provides, and take the first step in letting go. This is large Marge. So if you can't think of anything off the top of your head, stick with it until you do. It could make a gigantic shift in all areas of your life. And then please fill in the blank. I'm grateful to money because. So this will also be in the emails that I'm going to send. I'll probably get that out to you guys tomorrow. I really love her books. I did read ahead this chapter, but I stopped and didn't read the whole book. So I love her books. I love the way she talks to us. I think it's super relatable, and I really can't wait to get into it. Next week we are into chapter 2A. But right now, focus on what she said. Do that work. Go over that to get rich exercise. Again, it's going to be in the emails. If you want to sign up for the emails, go to anchoredsoultherapy.com. Click the book club section, and it'll take you to all the old and current book club readings, and you can sign up for emails there, and you will get all the emails with the integration work. Jasmine, do you have anything else you want to share?
No, just thank you for showing up today.
Thank you for showing up and keeping me accountable.
Yes.
I was on it. I was on it, but I was like, dang it. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad I didn't let you down. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like, I just felt bad. I was like, oh my God, if it's just us and you totally need a break,
Nah, nah.
I'm good.
No, I was looking forward to it, and I'm glad we made it. We're
All
on
right,
it.
cool. Right.
All right. I love you guys.
Have a
I
good
will
night.
see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Bye now.